All 6 contenders for the European Call of Duty World League Stage 2 Finals have been announced, and in a 2-part FPS breakdown, I will give you analysis of each and every roster, about their strengths and their weaknesses and what you should expect from the likes of HyperGames, Infused, Splyce, Millennium, Supremacy, and Epsilon Esports. As mentioned in the previous video where we covered Epsilon, Millennium, and Supremacy, these 6 teams will be going to California to compete in a 6-team single elimination best-of-7 tournament for their share of 168,000 big ones. You can tune in to callofduty.com/CWL, where we'll also be live streamed on Twitch and YouTube if you want some more information. But make sure you stay tuned right here to PvP Live if you want more coverage, as well as some analysis on these next 3 teams in the Call of Duty World League for Europe. In ascending order, we're going to start with Splyce, who has been dominant on the EU front as well as an international level. We saw them upset the likes of both FaZe and Rise on LAN at ESWC 2016. Even on LAN at MLG Anaheim, we saw them reverse sweep for the Game 5 win against Complexity. Following their roster change coming into Stage 2 of dropping Hawkeye and Vortex, Splyce has seen tremendous improvement overall, but more specifically in Uplink, where this team before MLG Anaheim was 11-1 in the game mode. What we've also seen from these guys is how dominant they are in Search and Destroy. With a 10-5 record in the European Call of Duty World League, they transferred that right over to LAN, where they were able to work well in so many disadvantageous situations in Search and Destroy, where if they would get first blood, they'd be able to answer right back anyway. This is a very mechanically skilled roster with very few mistakes in their movement and overall decision making when it gets to these respawn game modes, and that's a huge strength going into the European Call of Duty World League playoffs. Next up, we have the Stage 1 online season champions of Infused, being Marky B, Petey, Urban, and Zero, currently 13-4 in Stage 2 of the Call of Duty World League, and this is an incredibly strong roster. Unfortunately for Infused, they're forced to hypercarry a player like Zero, except that's not the case at all. I just had to break his heart a little bit. Infused is very close to the map win percentage to that of HyperGames, who are currently #1 in the European Call of Duty World League. This team was also able to bring their talents over on LAN in North America, where they beat Splyce, a team where previously their record was 1-3 online, and then they were able to progress and place top 6 in the tournament. And with a player like Marky B, who's placed top 3, the highest any European has ever had in a North American event, that should be expected. On the subject of Marky B, let's talk about his synergy, his beautiful, beautiful synergy with a player like Zero. These two players just kind of, it almost seems like in Hardpoint, they're just deciding who's going to go off that map. Marky B is more than happy to take a back seat and, play that anchor role and let his teammates do what they need to do, but Zero is such an explosive player, and he is able to go in and out of the weapon meta and choose whatever he wants and make it work. The way that Marky B synergizes with Zero to set him up for so many great opportunities is the reason that this team was 9-2 in Hardpoint before MLG Anaheim and came through just as impressive on LAN. A lot of Petey's strength lies in CTF, where he has the highest caps around in all of the European Call of Duty World League. Zero, his strengths in Search and Destroy go in the hands of his sniper rifle, where he's pretty good at ripping faces off. HyperGames, currently sitting at 15-2, is your #1 seed for the Call of Duty World League Stage 2 playoffs, and the roster is Brain, Nulson, Zed, and Quicker. HyperGames' only losses were dealt by the likes of Exertus and Millennium, of whom Exertus is currently 1-1 with a record with a lot of the top teams in the European Call of Duty World League at the moment. Not only that, but HyperGames also has the most Game 4 and Game 5 victories out of everyone in the Call of Duty World League. Some of this team's strengths lie in Hardpoint, where Brain, Zed, and Nulson are all currently in the top 10, just like Splyce for Hardpoint KDs. However, their weaknesses lie in Search and Destroy, where they do lose to a lot of the top teams that will be attending this event. Right now, they've lost 2 Search and Destroys to Epsilon, they've lost the Search and Destroy to Supremacy, and as well as 1 to Millennium, and I believe another 2 Infused. These are your top 3 seeds for the European Call of Duty World League, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments how you think these guys stack up to the bottom 3 seeds that were discussed in the last FPS Breakdown video. This is FPS Breakdown, and you're watching Esports on PvP Live.